Tim Dillon.
Oh, yes. I forgot about this, actually. Tim Dillon was on Rogan. He called into Legion of Skanks as well. Tim Dillon has gotten ahead of this, and I think he's done a good job at bracing people for it and getting ahead of it and doing some PR spin a little bit. But I do think you can tell Tim Dillon is even internally searching for reasons to do this Riyadh Comedy Festival. So it's kind of crazy to me. Like, Tim did make me reflect on this a little. And if I am seeking out political coverage, Tim Dillon is a guy I would go to first because I think he's tremendously level-headed on issues. Like, he, plays like an absurd character very often. But like, if you listen to his actual opinions, they're amazingly reasonable. Like, he will, criticize Trump and support Trump and criticize the left and support he does all these things when he sees fit, which I respect. But this Riyadh Comedy Festival is a weird thing to me because you have guys that moralize. You have not just guys, people in general that will kind of talk down to others about politics. And, the guy we just talked about, Tony Hinchcliffe, they'll shame him for doing the Trump rally, whatever, as maybe they should. I do think it's weird that a comedian would do that and want to influence people's votes. But when the money is right, they don't mind making their own statement, even if they don't morally agree with it. So Tim Dillon had an interesting perspective on this because I'm part of the problem with it, where I talked out of my ass a little bit. We talked about that Riyadh Comedy Festival a few weeks ago. I forget the context. I forget why it came up.
We just showed all the list of comedians who had accepted. And
I was kind of like, fuck these phonies. But to be fair, I'm a guy, I've obviously never been to Saudi Arabia. I don't really know anything about it. I read headlines and I hear what people say about it. So I'm also talking out of my ass like a lot of these people that I think Tim is calling out here. So I at least like the way Tim approached this. Now, you have people like Kyle Kalinske watching this clip and losing their minds over it. I think if you're going to do it, this is, I guess, the best way to go about it and just make fun of yourself for doing it.
Mike, you keep letting that beard grow, they're going to just welcome you as a sheik.
I need a trim. I haven't found a barber out here yet, but it's coming. No. Yeah.
Not only that, you can go to Muslim countries and yell, "I love bacon." There's no laws against it.
I will be doing it at the Riyadh Comedy Festival very soon. Get your tickets. Get your tickets.
Are you really going to go there?
Of course I am.
Wow.
Why would I not? Or they kill gay people and women?
Rogan's ears are smoking. He's like, I don't know how to answer this. I support Tim. What side am I supposed to be on this issue? Rogan has no fucking idea what to say.
By the way, we've said that about, we say this about every Muslim country is throwing gay people off the roof all the time, by the way. Okay? I obviously don't agree with Saudi Arabian policies on women and things like that.
Yeah.
Is it my business to tell Saudi Arabia how to live? Truly.
How big was the check?
$375,000 for one show.
Nice.
That's not bad.
That's pretty.
The one part of this shit. By the way, Tim's one of the lesser names on this show.
Oh my god.
Like, Tim's one of the smaller names. I can't imagine what they paid Burr, Louis, Chappelle. Chappelle has to be $10 million, I would think.
Mike, for $375, I'll help you push.
So this is the thing where Tim has been open about this. Now, I think the rest of this is searching for reasons to feel okay about doing it. Like, the rest of this is where Tim starts to lose me a little bit. But I like the idea. Like, you will not get the rest of these people talking about it. Burr will never address this, I don't think. Maybe in 3 years he'll make some joke about it. And then people like me that defend him will get to go like, see, but at the time he's going to avoid it. And I think that's like a cowardly way to go about it. You will not hear Whitney Cummings talk about, well, Whitney's a little crazy. Maybe she will. I don't know. But the majority of people, like Schultz might talk about it, but people like Aziz and Burr and some of the other names on this list, you will never see address this. And that's why I like Tim being like, yeah, it's $375,000. It could pay for a house in a lot of towns in this country.
pretty good.
That's not bad.
I'll take that.
I'll watch a behanding for that.
Behanding?
Yeah, it's called a behanding. What happens is they cut the hand off the thief.
Yeah.
Here's
Don't
the thing.
steal.
All the people that have
on
yelled at me
Skanks,
for...
he called into Legion of Skanks and he said that he and Sebastian Maniscalco would be performing a behanding. Which for that type of money, you got to accept. You know, that's a good gig.
He should bring a lady friend. That's all I'm saying. And just be like, yes, Saudi, this is my lady friend. We sleep in the same
I don't
bed."
think anyone. I think Tim's in the clear. No one looks at this man and thinks he's gay.
That's true. He is.
He's the least gay guy of all time.
Goes under the gaydar.
Yes.
for this are also pro letting migrants and refugees into America at very high numbers. Now, the same religion that is supposedly so terrifying that I cannot spend 24 hours in that country is the same religion that all of these migrants and refugees are pretty supportive of that are coming over.
Yeah.
So it feels weird to me that people are getting on a moral high horse and going, it is so dangerous to go to Saudi Arabia for 48 hours. Why? Well, because they do X, Y, and Z. Why do they do that? Well, they're this religion is crazy. I go, okay, but then who's coming into our country? How differently do they feel about all of these things? And then if you poll them, they don't feel that differently.
I think he's searching for reasons to spin it a little bit. Like I think that's kind of a stretch as to why you should go to Saudi Arabia, but I do at least like that Tim is like up front. He's like, I mean, the real reason I'm doing it is they paid me $375,000. You know,
Yeah.
now it is interesting to me because I think it ties to the NFL thing we were talking about. Like, Tim will make $375,000 over the next few months at most. Like, if he's just doing gigs and working on his podcast, he's going to make that money. Like, Tim's doing very well. So is it worth it? Like, if you do have these morals, is it worth it to throw those out because it's easier money? Like, because it's one night, you know? And his accommodations will be nice and it'll all be fine. Now, the other version of that is, like, the reason he called into Legion of Skanks is like Big J was moralizing about this. And he was like, I wouldn't do it for $500,000. I forget what number exactly he threw out. And so they set him up, they hooked him up to a lie detector test.
Oh, no.
And they found out he would definitely do it for $250,000. He might do it for as little as $101,000.
Oh, my God. You know how much eyeliner that buys, Mike? I mean,
Yes.
lifetime supply.
It's a lot of nail polish.
Yes.
So, like, it's easy for all of us to say, oh, I would turn down that money. If they said, well, here's the money. I think a lot of us would go,
It's a briefcase.
all right, it's one day. I'll be in and out, you know? Hey, they're still going to treat women like that even if I don't go, you know?
Right. Totally. I look at that briefcase and I go, Mexicans.
Yeah.
Like Tim Dillon did.
That's what, now, here's where Tim is in a different position than a lot of these people. Because I saw Kyle Kalinske getting all mad about this. He's like, I thought I liked Tim Dillon, you know? He's one of those guys. And it's like, Tim has never lied about who he is, you know? You want to look at Bill Burr, talk about like how these CEOs treat people and all this stuff. Someone let Bill know how they treat people in Saudi Arabia, you know? It's if you can believe it, even worse than the guy that got shot in the street for United Healthcare. It's somehow even worse over there in Saudi Arabia. So someone might want to tell Bill that. But Tim has never lied about who he is. Like, this was not when I saw the list, put it this way, I didn't look at Tim Dillon's name and go, what? He's going?
Yeah.
But I do listen to Tim Dillon's show and think he might be a guy that says like, oh, well, I'll make I don't need to go to Saudi Arabia. I'll make $375,000 doing other stuff. Like, Tim sells out theaters all over the country. His podcast makes a ton of money. He still has his Patreon, right? Which does very well.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I imagine he
giving
makes
that
that. I imagine he makes that just on Patreon in a couple of months, if not sooner. So I was surprised Tim Dillon did. I think if you're going to do it, that's about the best way to go about it. But it is still a little. It's what's interesting to me is you even hear him reaching for reasons to go and be like, "Hey, people over there, come here," and everyone embraces them. Whatever that excuse was.
That
you know?
excuse was the most retarded excuse I've ever heard.
He was getting tongue-tied trying to defend himself.
The logic, though, okay, so the immigrants that come here are majority left-leaning, I guess that's what he's saying, and then the left-leaning people support. I don't even understand.
Well, he's saying, hey,
the
disconnect is, he's saying individuals come here and they're representative of that country. But the reason some of them are leaving are because of the rules that are in that country, you know? Yeah. I think I get what he's trying to say. It felt a little like a reach, but I like that he's like, and $375,000. That's the main reason, you know?
Tim, don't leave the hotel. I'm just telling you now. Stay there.
Go to blindmike.net for everything Blind Mike. Look at me. I did it. Kragers did it.